Alright, hi guys. I am so incredibly excited to bring in this video today because I've been wanting to film it for such a long time. I just didn't know how I wanted to execute it, but I think I figured it out. So, I feel like I should introduce myself. Hello, my name is Julia, and today I'm going to be kind of walking you through my very first year of college. So just for a little bit of context, if this is the first video that you've ever seen from me, my name is Julia, I'm 19 years old. I just finished my first year at Brown University and I am on the Division I gymnastics team there. This is going to be kind of like a podcast styled video. I have no idea how long it's going to be, but I would recommend grabbing some food. You should eat with me. If you saw the title, today I'm going to be eating some sushi. I'm so excited. I got takeout from this little restaurant near me, and should I just do like a food haul first? Okay, I'm going to do a food haul. I'm sorry if this video seems a little bit scattered. I do want it to feel kind of candid though. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I've been so obsessed with watching these like people on TikTok just eat food. And I really could not explain to you why it is just so satisfying to me and so like soothing for me to just watch people eat like sushi. Mainly sushi. For some reason sushi just like hits different. Okay, so the first thing, some shrimp shumai. The other thing I have is called an R&D roll. It is basically just salmon, avocado, and cream cheese wrapped in like your regular sushi, like nori and rice and sesame seeds, whatever. And then also, like a lot of these people on TikTok or social media that I'll watch that like eat sushi always eat kani salads, and I want to know what the hype is. I got a kani salad for myself. I feel like I'm just going on and on and on about sushi, and that's just not what the video is about. Well, kind of, but not really. Okay, sorry. That is incredible. Now that I got that out of the way, now we can get into strictly college talk. So let's do it. So the way that I broke this down is I'm gonna break down every single month for you, tell you different things that I did in that month, different experiences I had, and we're gonna talk about it. So let's just get started, okay? I'm already 10 minutes into my footage and I haven't even started yet. Okay, so September. I moved in at the very beginning of September. I actually vlogged move-in, so if you wanna watch that, you can find it on my channel. I honestly had not been sleeping well for like the days leading up to that because I was just so anxious about how much was about to change with my life. So I had not been sleeping well at all. Finally moved in. Honestly, move-in is exhausting. I was like completely like wiped out at the end of that day, and I hadn't even like fully moved in all of my stuff yet. It was a lot. Like it definitely drains you. I felt like I had just been dropped off at like summer camp or something. I was like, no way that I'm going to be living here for like the next 9 months of my life. And to my left, I just have a random stranger that I'm also going to be living with. I had been lucky enough to grow up and have a room of my own. So on top of having to live with somebody else, live in a new place, live in a new state, I had to live with a new person too. I also had to adjust with living with a person in my room. There wasn't necessarily a full form of privacy that I could ever get away to because you never know if like your roommate's gonna be in the room when you just need the room to yourself. But it never became an issue. I just want to say this right here, right now, that I got so lucky with my roommate. My roommate, she was the best. I could literally do a whole video about her alone. Anyways, move-in went well, like relatively. I did have a really hard time saying goodbye to my parents and my sister because it just kind of felt like everything was made official at that point. And then they went on their way, and then I just felt really disoriented and like this random wave of loneliness. Like I do remember that the very first week of college, I probably felt the most lonely that I've ever felt in my life, just because it wasn't like I could just go home like I used to be able to do when I would have like familiar faces there. Everything was new to me. Everyone was new to me. Like, yeah, I had talked to people beforehand, and yeah, I had some friends that I'd went to San Diego with, but like for the most part, everything was new. So that like stressed me out a lot. You know when you don't necessarily have like a safe place or a safe person to go to talk, vent, whatever, you kind of have to start from scratch with everyone? That is exhausting. My social battery was so dead for like the first like month completely. So because I was a freshman, I was on campus a little bit earlier than the sophomores, juniors, and seniors because we had these like pre-orientation activities that we had to go to. So like for example, the night of move-in, we had this thing called an ice cream social, which is just like everybody goes to the main green, which is like the kind of central part of campus, which is like a huge plot of grass where like a lot of people hang out. We had to go to the main green, we had some ice cream, and we got to socialize, you know, ice cream social. That was insanely overwhelming because I was trying to like meet my teammates. I had seen some familiar faces. It was so bizarre because you're just like running around. Social media also makes things so weird because I had like seen so many people that I had recognized from social media, but I couldn't remember if I had officially like ever talked to them or even introduced myself to them. So it was kind of this awkward like, hey, you look familiar type of interaction. And if it wasn't that, it was, oh my god, hi, my name is so-and-so, and like, what major are you? Like, where are you living? Like, just like the generic questions for like 2 hours straight. I was completely drained after that. Like, the ice cream social like genuinely took everything out of me, because earlier that day, I had moved everything into my dorm. I had said goodbye to my family. I was exhausted. And then I had to like put up this facade and talk to like all these people, but not really have any meaningful conversations with them, just small talk. The first day was a lot. So after that, things did start to calm down a little bit, but I cannot like say that they calmed down a lot because there was still a lot going on. We had advisor meetings so they could help us pick out the courses that we wanted to take. We had these little like RPL meetings. So like an RPL is basically a residential peer leader, and they're the upperclassmen in our hall. They're kind of just like the supervisors of a designated part of the dorm, and we had housing meetings with them so we could meet our hall mates and all of that. They really just like completely pack out your schedule, so you're just like running around all day from like event to event, and you're so busy to the point that you can't even like miss home at that point because you don't even know what you're doing. I was literally like so lost my whole time I was there. I just didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, we just had all of these like different events going on. We had a club fair on the main green. There were literally hundreds of clubs just lined up on these tables. You gotta walk around. It's kind of like a high school club fair, just like amped up by like 20 because it's college, so there's like a million more different clubs that you can join. We had convocation like at the beginning of September, which is when all the freshmen walk through the iconic Van Wickle gates for the very first time, and then you don't walk through those gates again until you graduate. So it's kind of like the in and then you're out, and that's it. There's this whole myth that if you walk through those gates before you graduate, you don't end up graduating successfully. So we'll not be walking through those gates until I graduate. Don't want to play around with my luck like that. Oh, a little bit more on the roommate dynamic. It was just so weird to me because like all of a sudden you're living with like a stranger, and it is kind of cool though because with time you kind of get to know their little quirks, they get to know your little quirks, you start to get to know each other's routines. So like at certain points I'd be like, oh, I definitely know my roommate's not going to be at the room at this time. I can like go back and have some privacy, or like, oh, I know she'll be back there, at least I'll have somebody to talk to. For example, my roommate and I had this cute little thing that if one of us got into the room and went to sleep before the other one, we'd turn on the little lamps on our desks for each other, so when we came into the room it wasn't pitch black. So I don't know, just like little things like that are like super cute that you just kind of establish with your roommate. And I guess depending on who you talk to, everyone has had a different roommate experience, but I can definitively say that I had a really great experience with my roommate, and that is like one of the things that helps me get through this year, because this year was really hard. This whole first month was just like so overwhelming. So throughout these like orientation events, I think there was even like a carnival, like a mini carnival that they set up for us. They had like bouncy houses on the main green. Like it was just, there was so much going on. Like I've never been more overstimulated in my life. But in between all of these like orientation events, I would go out with my friends, my new teammates, and we'd walk around campus, explore a little bit, get to know each other a little bit. Also, I'd just like to say, when you get to college, be ready to walk, because freshmen wander. I was walking like over 10 miles every single day when I got there because just random things come up. It'll be like, oh, like, do you want to come to my dorm? We can like sit in my dorm and chat. Or do you want to come see my dorm? Do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? So like you're just like walking all over the place like aimlessly all day because you're trying to like get into the groove of things, kind of understand the culture and the environment at college, and you're just walking. Like when I tell you I had like 20,000 steps like every single day just from like aimlessly walking around campus, I'm not even kidding. And like throughout all of this, I could just say that like my first month at college was just a huge like self-discovery phase. But like with everything, I was just trying to establish a steady routine for myself. I was trying to figure out what I liked, the most efficient route to like get to certain locations, what dining halls I liked, what I liked to do in my day. And like throughout all of that, everything is changing so much. Like one day you have orientation events at these times, the next day you have orientation events at these times. It was very difficult to establish like a steady routine, and I'm a very like routine oriented person. It was very hard to establish a routine at the very beginning because like everything was changing so quickly. Towards the end of September, I just remember that we had some like team events. So because I'm on the gymnastics team, I also had like an extra layer of like social events and like events that I was like supposed to go to. So like for example, we had these like team events where we'd like get to know the team and kind of like talk to the team, ask questions, see what we're getting ourselves into. We also had media day, which is when we all get dressed up in our leotards, do our makeup, and we get our photos taken. When they post those like promotional things on the Brown Gymnastics Instagram, they like use those photos of us for the whole year. So So that was really fun because like I got to know my team a little bit better then. We got to take photos together. It was just kind of a nice little bonding experience. So I enjoyed that a lot. Then we started classes. I could probably do like a whole separate video just talking about the classes that I took. But in case you're curious and to answer your question, no, I do not know what I want to major in. I am still experimenting with a lot of different classes. For example, my first semester, I took a bio class, I took a sociology class, I took intro to economics, and I also took an entrepreneurship class. My second semester, I know we're kind of jumping forward here, but I just kind of want to get my courses out of the way now. I took macroeconomics, which is towards the economics degree major, which I might do, still don't know yet. A computer science course on data organization, a learning conditioning psychology class, and calculus. Sorry, a little bit of a location change. I think my camera was overheating too much when it was on my dashboard, so I moved you to my window. So now it's like you're like a passenger in my car. This is like we're really having like a little heart-to-heart right here. I really like that for us. So I had just explained to you like what classes I took. I'm not gonna go like super in depth about like those classes. When we started classes, I was really stressed out because I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what to expect. It was like the fear of the unknown was just so strong inside of me that it was making me a nervous wreck. Like honestly, if I were to tell you the complete and honest truth, I was a nervous wreck for like at least 3/4 of my college experience. That's really embarrassing to admit. So we had started classes. It really wasn't anything too crazy though because it was like syllabus week. Really good. I need to turn the AC on in my car. I'm like actually dying. Okay. Okay, where was I? Okay, this thing is real cool. Okay, let me show you this real quick. Quick intermission. My boyfriend spent like a week and a half with me after I got home from school, and he helped me install this little Apple CarPlay thing, and it's so nice. Like, it's just so convenient. It really makes me feel like my 2010 Honda Accord is back in the right decade, you know? That's completely besides the point, though. Where was I? I'm getting so... No way. No way that just happened. I think I'm gonna go back home and just finish this video at home in the privacy of my bedroom because, you know, this idea was cute in theory, but now I'm overheating. The camera's overheating. I have shumai spilt all over my passenger seat chair right now, and it's just, this isn't working out. But in the meantime, big shout out to iDoing for sending me this CarPlay. It works like an absolute charm. I have it like hooked up to my phone. It can either connect through a cable or it's Bluetooth too. So if you guys are interested in that, link in description. I'm gonna go back home because why is there music playing? This is getting too chaotic for me and I'm losing my patience. What is going on? Why is Macklemore playing? I'll see y'all at home.